Calculate your Airbnbs fast. This does not have to be too hard. We're going to do this in 5 minutes or less here on the Fearless Investor channel. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you do. Dropping tons of value bombs here in the short-term rental industry. All right, this is something that I get really excited about. I kind of geek out on the numbers, but if you're not a numbers person, I'm gonna make this super simple, and then we're gonna go a little bit deeper at the end into how you can really solidify these numbers. But let's go ahead and just look at this from a 5,000 foot overview. So first of all, expenses. Expenses are right up here, and then I've got the income in blue down here. But let's just say that you have a place that's $1,500 that you are arbitraging, and the rent is going to be, like I said, $1,500 a month. Let's say that it costs you about $500 in utilities every month. Pool, pest, lawn, gas, electric, water, sewage. These are averages, okay? So if you have a month that's $750 and then a month that's $250, it's just gonna be basically kind of evening itself out. So if you have $1,500, I call this the rule of 3 in short-term rentals. Typically, you're gonna get 2.5 to 3 times whatever the long-term rental is for your short-term income for that month. So that's $4,500 if you are doing the rule of 3. Do the math here. This is $2,000, okay? And we're going to take that out of the 4,500. That leaves us with a profit of $2,500 on a place we don't even own. That's what's so cool about this industry, and this is real. I just actually got another property right now here in Fresno that I'm making $3,500 on, so $2,500 is still pretty conservative. So if we look at this, this is just the nightly rate. What about those extra fees that we do? Maybe the cleaning that we make a little bit of a profit on. Maybe that's, $100 for the month. Maybe we are getting some pet fees, and there's a lot of other things within this that we can make extra money on. I've got some scooters at one of my places. I've got early check-in fees. There's a lot of different ones, but that could be an extra $300 for the month. Add that to the $2,500. We're now at $2,800 of net profit for 1 month. And if we purchased a property, well, not purchased, if we went ahead and did an arbitrage, our initial expenses, what are they? Well, for furnishing and consumables, okay, we've got maybe $12K on a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom place, and then a deposit. And that deposit is probably about 1 to 2 times the rent. So let's just say that our total investment is $15K. We just made, rounded up, say $3,000 a month. We just made our money back in about 5 to 6 months. All right, this is what's so amazing is most people are chasing 8 to 10% returns. We're chasing right now a 200% return on an arbitrage. This is why the short-term rental industry is so profitable. This is why I get so excited. But the $4,500, let's go ahead and show you how to solidify that by using my profit calculator and AirDNA. So we're gonna use 2 different tools here. One is AirDNA, and then one is my Airbnb profit calculator, which you can get absolutely for free by going here to get your first Airbnb in the next 30 days. If you fill out this form, you'll get an awesome 40-minute masterclass that's gonna show you exactly how to get that first Airbnb, and it'll give you the calculator. But if, right now I'm gonna give you like a 3-minute version of how to use both of these. If you want the actual training, super simple, go to Airbnb on my website, fearlesskyle.com, and go to the market eval kit. For just $97, you can learn how to properly evaluate a property and a market, and that can save you hundreds of thousands of dollars, to be completely honest, because one mistake can be detrimental. So here is what I'm gonna do though. I'm probably gonna assume that you're gonna start with a free membership on AirDNA, which, by the way, if you wanna start an AirDNA membership, the link is down in this video in the description. And a free version is a great place to start because you could save money, and you also can get a majority of the information that you need already. If you notice, a majority of this is locked up, but all we really want to find is what is the average occupancy rate for this city. And if we have, call it a 3-bedroom, we just want to look at 3-bedroom locations that are similar. So if I had a lead, let's say in Northern Phoenix right now, and it was up around here next to the 101, then I'm just going to find 3 different like properties, similar properties. So if mine has a pool, I want to make sure that I'm finding ones with pools. Like this one, for example, is a Phoenix pool, or North Phoenix home with a pool. And I'm going to find 3 of those that have legitimate data. How do you know they have legitimate data? Well, that's also going to be in the Airbnb market eval kit, which once again, you can find on my website at fearlesskyle.com. But there's good data and then there's bad data, just like anything out there. And so you want to be able to figure out the good data, find the good data from 3 different properties, divide those 3, or find the amount. So let's just say, for example, if this one you call it is 220, this one is 460, and this one is 180. Those are all probably not good comps, but I would add all 3 of those together, then divide them by 3 and see what the common price is, and that would probably put us somewhere around like 270-ish is what my assumption would be. So I'm going to take that information that I just got, and then I'm going to apply it to my Airbnb calculator. So AirDNA, again, is helping us to find that nightly rate. Again, this is a very quick overview of it, but you can even, if you find ones, you can click on them and take a look at their link live to make sure they still are live, make sure they have great data, 108 reviews at a 4.75. That's a really good piece of data to collect. But if I find that out and say, okay, great, I've got one that's going to go at 270. Well, on the free version, once again, all I'm going to base on is this occupancy rate of 71%. And so if we go and we do a 71% occupancy out of 30 days, that's essentially about 20 to 21 days. So I can now apply that to my Airbnb calculator. So I've already filled out a few things on this Airbnb calculator for you, including initial expenses. I've included all the monthly expenses minus the rent. And then I'm also leaving the estimated cleaning fees, because I just want to assume for a second that we're not going to make any money and we're not going to lose any money on cleaning. But that is another great way that you can earn some income. So let's just say that 270 that I got, right? And then 20 days is what it's going to be on average booked every single month. In fact, I think 21 is probably closer to 70%. Now it calculates it over here to show you, hey, after all expenses except for the rent, I'm making $5,737 per month. And what I can now reverse engineer is how much can I pay for rent in order to make this make sense. So if I put in, and let's just say this is $2,500 of rent, look at that, $3,000 on a place that I don't own, and then I'm arbitraging. And what a great return here. And this is one thing that I would definitely recommend taking a look at. This is going to measure your risk. It's dividing your net earnings, which are right here, into your gross earnings. And if your net to gross is at least 33%, as you see, this one's 51%. If we do find a place that is rentable for $2,500, then we know that it's a pretty good deal. So what does that mean? That means that I can now kind of mess with this a little bit and say, well, what if my rent is $3,000? What do those numbers look like? $2,700, and we're still over that 33% mark. What about $3,500? Still right on and bordering that 33%. So I would say if I'm confident about these numbers and I find a pool in this area in Northern Phoenix, then I am pretty comfortable with knowing that, hey, this is a good deal. I'm making pretty good net profits right here. But what I would also do is go in and now say, okay, I think I have a pretty good overlying view of this, but let me get the real data by upgrading and purchasing an actual zip code to make sure that I do have these numbers right. So once again, really high 5,000 foot overview. Your best bet is to go over to fearlesskyle.com, get over to the Airbnb tab, go to the market eval kit, and you can go ahead and just for $97, make sure that you're making the right decisions and the right analysis on a property and a market.